What is up? So, episode 2 of the vlog? What? Already? Man, I just did the other one like day before yesterday, but hey man, I'm motivated. I'm on it. I'm all over this thing. When I started thinking about this, I really wanted to put a lot into it. I wanted to give you guys something that you were interested in, something of substance, something that would give value to you, or just maybe answer some questions that you had. And one of the biggest things that I get from a lot of people being an investor is a lot of people ask me questions about investing, like, well, how do I find my houses, and what do I look for in a house, and and how do I know certain things, and what ingredients, and how do I know how to price it, and location, and all that good stuff. So you know what we're going to do today? We're going to look at one of our next projects, one of our next houses. This house is kind of unique, so let me give you the backstory real quick. So I've been trying to get this house for 2.5 years. 2.5 years I've been trying to get this house, but it had some issues in it. Basically, it was a lease to own type situation with the previous tenants. And so the legit owner, the bank of the house, the person that was basically representing the bank in this transaction, had to foreclose on these people because they wouldn't pay. They stopped paying. When you stop paying, if you're renting, you get evicted. If you stop paying when you own a home, you get foreclosed on. Well, since this was a owner finance type thing, this was a foreclosure procedure, and I guess it kind of got ugly. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it took a little bit. So finally the house came back to the owner, and he got everything correct and everything right in there. So I made my bid on it, and finally made my bid on it. But I've always had a house, but I've always looked at this thing. I love the location. I love the house. So it's kind of been one of those time-consuming things. But you know what? One of the biggest success indicators in life is perseverance, is not giving up, is always finding a solution to the problem and an answer to all the questions. And then something else came up when we went under contract a few weeks ago. This house has never really had a survey. And from basically what I got from the attorney was, this property, which is almost 3/4 of an acre, goes back into the old railroad tracks that no longer exist from like the early 1800s. So I had to have a survey, one of the most expensive surveys I've ever had done, because they had to find monuments, and $1,125 survey, well worth it. So today I'm gonna go see what the surveyors came up with. I'm gonna see if this lot is exactly what's advertised. I'm gonna see if it's worth closing on, because I'm already a week behind. We were supposed to close last week, and time is money. So I need to figure this thing out ASAP and get my guys on it so we can flip this thing, turn it, make some money, make it beautiful, make it someone's dream home, and go to the next thing. So, off the honey path, buckle up, here we go. The next potential project. We are under contract, of course, but it is basically on this survey, and you guys are seeing it for the first time just like me. So it's on these little red stakes. First, take a look at this house. Check it out. So a lot of people ask me, why have I been on this house for the last 2.5 years, and kind of watching it, monitoring it, and randomly texting the homeowner, seeing what's going on with it. Well, I mean, for a lot of different reasons. First of all, I love the house. I think it's awesome. It's got a lot of potential. But location, check this out. So this is Main Street Honey Path. You can literally throw a rock and hit it right there. You can see the top of the First Baptist Church over there. It's just a great area. It's a great neighborhood. That's a great size lot, 3/4 of an acre right here within walking distance of Main Street. So family friendly. This looks for a lot of buyer profiles, and what a lot of people don't take into account, a lot of investors don't take into account, is you need to know who's going to buy this house before you buy this house.
it's important to understand your buyers, understand your buyer profiles. A lot of investors remodel homes to what they like, to their standards and different things like that. I'm telling you, it's a huge, huge, huge mistake. You need to know who's going to buy this house, what's important to the majority, and you base everything off that. And it takes research, it takes time, it takes dedication, all that good stuff. So that's one little nugget. But let's find out if I'm buying this house or not. Let's find out where these stakes are at. So let's check it out. So first stake I noticed when we came in is right here. So far so good. It's basically saying that this driveway right here is not encroaching this other property's driveway, which is awesome. So far so good. I kind of figured the front of the home would be all right. We're gonna get to the back of the house, then we're gonna go inside. So let's look at the other one real quick and make sure nothing crazy is going on over here. So check this one out. We are basically right on the line here. Looks like an old pin he probably dug up. You see we're inside the fence line, which is good. More than likely that's probably the post office fence. So hey, so far so good. You know what, before we go outside, let's check out the inside of this thing real quick. Let's check it out. All right, let's do it. So we're gonna check it out. So I'm gonna go up the stairs, we're gonna walk right in, and you're gonna see hopefully the same vision I see. If not, it's all good. It's all good. I see the vision. So let's do this. Check it out. First of all, I have not been in here yet, so hopefully no one's squatting. But first of all, I love the porch. I love the porch. I love these huge brick columns here. Incredible porch. Nice little front yard. Huge tree for shade. I mean, again, great location. That's Main Street right over there. I mean, this is a great spot. Great spot. Incredible spot. But let's check out the inside. Now we're going to try to find those stakes in the back, and to be honest, I'm not really sure how we're going to do that because it's like a kudzu jungle back there. But we got to figure it out because there's tens of thousands of dollars on the line, so we've got to figure it out. I just hope I don't get bit by like an anaconda or a cobra or something. But hey, check this out too. So this is a building on the back of the house here. Let's go inside, let's check it out. Just don't get bit, don't get bit, don't get bit, don't get bit. Whoop, whoop. Snakes or strangers. Alright, so no joke. So the last time I was in here, the biggest raccoon I've ever seen in my entire life, and I have witnesses, came from up there, walked across that, and went out that hole in the roof up there. That was an intense moment because I think that it took all of us out. It was that big. It was huge. It was like, I mean, it was at least 200 pounds. At least 200 pounds. Maybe a little less, but it felt like 200 pounds. But this is a great building here. This is a great building. This is a great building. Of course, all this stuff's gonna be cleaned out of here. And what you can't see around the corner. All right, y'all hear that? Please tell me y'all hear that. It's like scratching the jump. Anyway, we're gonna get out. There's a bathroom right around the corner, and we're gonna let Mr. Whoever this is up here, my temporary resident, you will be evicted. It sounds massive. Anyway, let's get back to the stakes. All right, you're good for now.
All right, that's right. You better back up. Let's go. All right. Come on.
Anyway. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna do our best to walk. We got to get a basically a skid steer out here to clean all this up. But let's try to find these stakes. All right, let's do that. Come on. Oh boy. Y'all see a snake, y'all say something. Scream, I don't know, do something. Scratching sound like it was coming back here. Ouch. Alright, so it must go way, way, way back in there. So put the windows and the doors out here. Alright, so here's the deal. I'm probably gonna go knock on the neighbor's door and ask them if I can walk through. Okay, so I had to knock on the neighbor's door. I wasn't gonna walk through the kudzu jungle. So they were super cool, so that I could walk through their backyard. Awesome. So let's do this thing. Let's check it out. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where are you at? Flag. I need to know if this survey is going to, all that over there is that yard. Look at that. Huge, deep, very deep yard. So looking for the stake, and we found it. All right, so that's the first one right there. I had no idea it went back this far. It's crazy how deep this is. Literally back to these big old power lines here almost. And the cool thing is, you know, 100+ years ago, this was a railroad track. Went all the way through here. Huge hub. You know, here in Belton was huge. It was huge, man. People came from all over the country to come here, you know, on this train. So that's pretty cool, man. I love history like that. So how they found the monument, oh man, hold on. Gosh, getting eaten alive. Ants, check it out. So part of the gig is getting eaten alive by ants. And listen, kids. Ow, Jack, come on now. Jeez Louise. So here's the deal, kids. You should never, ever attempt what I'm doing in shorts and tennis shoes. You should always be more prepared than that. And that's the reason I wore shorts and shoes. I just wanted to show you what could happen if, I'm just kidding. But dang. All right, all good. All right, listen. All right, let's find this thing. All right, so here we go. I really need a stick, man. Give me something. Come on. All right, so we're coming through here, coming through here, property line. And check this out. This isn't your normal survey marker. Usually it's kind of like the one we saw in the front. So this is old school. Old school. I mean, there's some age on that. There's, 50, 100 years on this little thing right here to mark the land. Where's the other one? Let's find it. Dang, man. Dude, get off me. Get off me. All right. Pretty sure this is gonna stop anything from attacking me, but I'm pretty sure that monument is right there. As a matter of fact, I kind of see it right there, and it kind of lines right up with the one on the front, because that's the fence. It's the post office. It is right over there. It's crazy. So the lot's deep. I'm gonna eat a lot. So the lot's pretty deep. It's crazy how deep a lot is so close to town. But that's cool. I mean, you got a lot of yard. Great for a family. Pretty much great for anybody that wants a lot of space, a lot of privacy. Because when you come back, it's not like you're backed up to another house. There's like a huge creek bed right here, and you see all that, of course. And You got these power lines way back here, so no one's gonna be building a house back here anytime soon. So, man, that's awesome. That's cool. So, I mean, took you to the house. You guys saw what I saw for the first time. Now it's just getting this done by the survey company, them emailing it to me. You know, there's another question that came into mind. You know, as an investor, you always gotta think about the next step. Is it being so deep and so close to this, does that mean anything to me? And I'm thinking probably not, but listen, here's the thing. You don't probably anything. You for sure find out the answers, because if you don't now, the answers will come up later, and it can cost you a ton of money. So many things to take away from this. First of all, always do your due diligence. Always figure it out. Do your homework. Understand the market. I know what this house will sell for before I ever bought it. Ever. My money is made when I purchased the house initially, not when I remodel it and flip it. Location, Honey Path. So many people stayed away from Honey Path. So many people still do. I can't think of anybody else doing what I do in this area at the volume that we're doing it. And the reason is, I mean, you got Greenwood, you got Anderson, you got Greenville. You can buy a house here for tens of thousands of dollars less than what you can purchase it at any other location like that. I mean, even Belton, which is like 8 miles away, is selling consistently over $100 a foot. Then Williamston, just a little further away, is selling for $107, $108 a foot on average. I mean, you can come here, and we're comping against ourselves now, and our houses are, I mean, we're selling for $95 a foot, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you do the math on 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 square feet, we're talking of tens of thousands of dollars to drive 10, 15 minutes further to work. I mean, that's crazy to me, absolutely crazy to me, the value here. And it's a great location. It's up and coming. There's a lot of things coming to Honey Path. This location, you can literally walk to Main Street. I'll tell you later what I bought this house for, because it'll blow your mind what I'm paying for it, if everything works out here. But that's why Honey Path. You always make your money when you purchase a house initially. You have to understand the buyers that will buy your house. Before I ever purchase a house, I always say, who's the buyer here? What's the buyer profile look like for this particular home? And then I act accordingly. You know, I find, is this a first-time home buyer house? Is this a downsizer house? Is this an empty nester house? Who's going to purchase this home? And then I remodel and base my whole marketing strategy, my whole remodel, the color scheme, the finishes based on that particular buyer profile. Hey, listen, am I always going to get it right? Absolutely not. I just hadn't got it wrong yet. And so, and that took 10 years of investing. So one more thing, and then we're gonna vlog 2 is out. So people ask me how I get the money to buy my houses, and they ask me if I finance, do I pay cash, and the answer is cash. First of all, I can't get financing. I've tried. I mean, not really. I mean, I've gone to banks and talked to them. They never pull credit or anything, but they were so negative about it. They were just so uneducated about what I do and all the work and research that goes in. They just saw a threat. They saw, you know, they saw 2007, 2008 market crash, and they want nothing to do with it. So I said, you know what, we'll do cash. But here's how I came up with the cash. And it's a straight up, honest to God truth. I bought a house. See, I've been studying real estate in this market since 2007, since right before the bubble burst. And I studied so much before I could ever buy a house of my own. I cannot buy a house. I didn't even know where the money was going to come from, but I studied real estate because I have a passion for it. I have a passion for real estate and just business and just people and all that together. And so I studied it every day before my day job. Every morning I get up 5 o'clock in the morning. Before I go to the gym, I studied real estate. I studied the market. I studied this market. We didn't even live here. And then 2014 came up, and my wife and I were driving through neighborhoods, and we drove through this neighborhood that was a $300,000 to $700,000 neighborhood. And in the back of this neighborhood, you had to drive through it, there was this new subdivision being put in, and these houses were $130,000 to $140,000 new construction. I started thinking, like, how in the world can this not be a good investment? I mean, you're passing $500,000 homes to get to your $140,000 home. This neighborhood will appeal to people that want to live on the front end, but they really want to be close. And so I was like, you can't go wrong here. So we built a house, went to the bank, didn't even know how to do it, went to the bank, and we got an FHA loan. So we had a little bit of a down payment, put the down payment down. Our mortgage was $825 a month. We built this house for $139,000. 2.5 years later, the market took an uptick. There was like a perfect storm of events, some negative, some positive. So the positive was the market was just strong. The market was strong. People were wanting to buy houses in this area, and it was crazy. It was strong. And then the fires happened in Tennessee. The fires happened, and many people lost their homes. Hundreds of people lost their homes, and something clicked in me that there's going to be a lot of people with checks, with insurance checks. And so I talked to my wife. I said, we need to list our home. So we listed our home for $199,900. 2.5 years later, after we purchased it for $139,000, or built it for $139,000, within 24 hours we had 2 full price offers. We made, after our down payment and the equity, because every time we make a payment with equity, we made $70-some thousand on that house in 2.5 years. It's crazy. Where can you do that at? You can't do it anywhere. That's why you need to buy a house. But we took that money on top of the other money that I had, because I had a decent job, and we moved back to South Carolina, and we've been flipping ever since, and it's been great. So listen, you don't need a loan. You don't need to be educated. You don't have to have rich family members. You just got to have a plan. You got to understand. And none of that would have happened had I not been preparing for the last 10 years. I wouldn't have felt it in my stomach that we needed to make this investment. I wouldn't have decided that this was a good investment. I wouldn't have known any better, because I didn't put the work in. And see, every day I put the work in. Every day before that I put the work in. Before I could ever do this, I put the work in. And I still do. I work harder now than ever. But you got to put the work in. You got to understand. You just can't invest. It's not that easy. You got to understand. And the reason I was able to make decisions like we made, and even from the house and the lot, we picked the biggest lot in the neighborhood that was available. Even though it wasn't the most desirable lot, but it backed up to a pasture. It was kind of crooked, but I knew the bigger lot backed up to a pasture was more appealing than backing up to another house. And my research told me that. My work told me that. And then 2 years later, my gut told me, based on everything that I put the work into, that, hey man, we need to sell this house because it's the perfect storm. The market is strong. The fires put checks in people's pockets. And if there's ever a great time to purchase or to sell, it's now. And man, was I right. We cracked it. We were homeless because we sold it so fast for a little bit, but we were homeless with money in the bank. And that's how we got started here. So listen, man, you don't have to have great credit. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but you got to have a plan. But most importantly, you got to have a passion. You got to have a work ethic. You got to understand it's not about you. It's about your customers and your clients. And most importantly, man, you got to have a drive, this incredible hunger and drive that I've had for as long as I can remember, to just be successful. And I live by this philosophy, and we're about to go. Here's my philosophy. There's an answer to every question. There's a solution to every single problem. You just got to put the work in to find it. So vlog 2 out. That's investments, baby. Hope y'all got something out of this. Subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Follow us, like us, all that good stuff. That's it, man. Talk to y'all later. Bye.